Hey, thank you for joining me once again. I'm Big Shy, and this is the very short video I'm making to make a very important point, to make a point across to you. And I want you to borrow me just 2 minutes of your time. 2 minutes, that is all I need from you. This video will obviously offend a few people for obvious reasons. And I just want you to have an open mind when you're watching this video. I suppose you will be able to understand the reason why I'm doing this. You will be able to understand the point I'm trying to make across by making this video. On that note, I shall make my point. Now, this video is purely about humanity, not about culture, not about religion, not about nationality, not about political or political, not politically influenced, not about who you like or who you hate. This video I'm making is purely about humanity. If you don't understand or know what humanity means, please look it up, Google it, and you will have a clear understanding of what humanity means. The situation that is taking place in Gaza, yeah, I know that one. I suppose some of you will go, oh, yeah, we go. Yeah, for me, I will continue to talk about it because this is the worst disaster. This is the worst genocide that had ever happened during my own time. I don't know about you. I suppose most of you watching this video right now are way older than me, and you've seen maybe worse than this in your lifetime. But as for me, this is the worst I've ever experienced. And it is even worse to the point where our own political leaders around the world are not doing nothing about it. That is not a story I need to go into. You understand what is going on in Gaza right now. Let's not go back into that, old topic because it is a very sad, sad situation. But the point I'm trying to make is this. We saw how the European leaders gathered themselves together on the 4th of September 2025. They called themselves the Coalition of the Willing to support Ukraine in fighting against Russian aggression, which is great. Don't get me wrong, that is fine. But let's make a few points. Let's clarify a few things here. Ukraine has a functioning military and they are fighting back, right? Ukraine has NATO on the ground as at now fighting back for Ukraine, defending Ukraine, right? Every single country out there, about 56 countries plus, are pumping billions and weapons into Ukraine, including the United States, for Ukraine to defend itself, right? And they are doing a great job at it. No doubt whatsoever. They are doing a good job. I mean, for them to have held on against Russia, NATO, let's put it that way, they are doing a good job at it. But the point is, Ukraine have every single support you can imagine out there, even though they have a functioning military. We had the Coalition of the Willing come together. 26 countries volunteered to send troops from each of their countries, no matter how small the countries are. They are going to gather troops, about 30,000 to 31,000 troops, to help Ukraine in terms of peacekeeping operation. The idea is floated, but we know it is just a fairy tale. But they talked about it, right? And it is in fact gaining momentum. But again, we know it is just a fairy tale. But what happened to Gaza? Why have they forgotten about Gaza? Have you guys actually sat down and think about these things? Why have they forgotten about that innocent country where the most worst level of genocide in history is taking place right now? What is this two-face or this high level of hypocrisy in politics these days. Why are these same people not gathering to form coalition willing to support Gaza? Why do we keep quiet in silence and watch the people of Gaza being massacred, being destroyed? A whole country. A country, by the way, that was bigger than Israel when at the beginning. But you know what happened? I don't have to go into that story because I know why I'm doing this video. So let me be careful. I'm just doing this video to focus on why there is so much hypocrisy amongst you and me and our political leaders. Because some of you out there feel so comfortable saying the Gazan population and citizens being decimated. It makes you happy, right? You can go to bed at night and sleep peacefully, right? Because they are not your people. They are not your brothers. They are not your sisters. You don't know them. So what the hell? They can keep getting. Humanity is the word. And that is what I stand for. And that is why I'm not afraid to say the truth. Because at the end of the day, you say the truth, you will die. If you don't say the truth, you will die. So what is the point holding back? What happened to humanity? Why are we not supporting the Gazan people? Why are we not doing something to help? I'm doing my bit. This is what I'm doing right here. But what have you done to make a difference? Even though it probably would not make much difference, but what are you doing? That is my question. Are you just sat there crying, oh, the Gazan people have been decimated, have been massacred, but then that is it. You don't do nothing. What have you done to help? What have you done to spread the word out there? Gaza need help. They need our help. We know what happened at the beginning. We condemned it. But who knows? That was probably a pretext set up. You never know. But look at the scale of the death toll in Gaza. Nearly 300,000 people killed in cold blood. But the official figure they gave you and me is 67,000 as of the 5th of September 2025. But the actual figures is over 300,000. And you obviously know why they will not give us the real figure, right? But we know because some of us know how to find things out. But the question remains, why is it one rule and one treatment for one country and another rule and one treatment for another country? Is it because Gaza has nothing of interest? Is that why everybody had forgotten about Gaza? If you watch this video, I don't even know what your mind is telling you or who you support or what you are thinking, but just take a moment to think about it. This genocide that is taking place in Gaza, is it justified? Is it right? People that can't fight back. They are not fighting back. They have no weapon. They have no military. They have no fighting forces. And they are being decimated. And one of the EU leaders said about a week ago, he said, oh, it was actually the German chancellor. A few days ago, he said Vladimir Putin was the worst war criminal of our time. How true is that? How true is that? I know some of you probably go, oh yeah, they are terrorists. No, they did this, they did that, they kidnapped one people, they kidnapped two people. Humanity is what we need to look at. Not religion, not color, not tradition, not nationality, not who you like or who you hate. You need to start changing your mindset from this point on because it could be you. It could be your family. It could be someone you love, someone you care about. It could be your children. Hmm? So why are we so happy seeing it happen to other people? Change your mindset and start to speak for the truth. Start to speak for humanity. Put aside your interest, put aside your hate for once and speak the truth. Thank you for giving me your 2-3 minutes to watch this video, and I hope I have not offended too much people. But if I have, I apologize, and that was not my intention. But that will not stop me from continuing to speak the truth. For me, like I said, I stand for humanity, not for you, not for any political leaders, not for who I like or who I hate. If something happens today that goes against somebody that I like or that somebody that I think I've been doing well, I will talk about it and I'll tell you this person I've done wrong today. And that is how it should be. Let us not get blinded by favoritism. The truth will set you free. Have a great day.